All right, we're here for a little bit of plyometric training, which is basically a fancy way of saying we're working on creating powerful, explosive movements with our body. Now, because plyometric can be really hard on the body, and we don't want to do any injuries, I'm literally just going to do one set of plyo exercises, and then that'll be it. So I'm hoping to do a few videos like this so that you can, if you want to, do several in a row, but it can be very hard on the body, it can be very hard on the joints. So I do advise you to take it easy to start off with. Anything you need to, please modify or skip entirely. So I'm just going to start off with a little bit of a warm-up just to make sure everything's moving. So just a little light jog, doesn't have to be big, just getting the body moving. Swinging those arms. Should mention, put on some good tunes if you've got them. Something with a lot of power, a lot of explosions, maybe a Michael Bay soundtrack. Who knows, whatever works for you. All we're doing is just getting a little bit of our heart rate up. And let's get our arms a bit more involved, so bring them up over the head as you run. A little bit faster. Knees forward. So trying to bring them up a little bit high. This is actually good for your plyometric training. It's starting to work the hamstrings, which is where a lot of our explosive force comes from, along with our quadriceps. Kick the butt. And slow it down. All right, should be a little bit warmer in the body now. We're just going to do a little squat to press. So heels about hip width apart. You can turn the feet out a little bit if that's more comfortable. All we're going to be doing is a squat. Make sure your knees are going in line with your toes. So we come down, squat, and then push up. Squat, push up. Squat, push up. Squat, push up. Breathe in and out. In as you come down, out as you come up. In, out. In, out. In, out. Really think about squeezing your buttocks together as you come up. A little bit of Elvis pelvis. Two more. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a stretch of the muscles. So feet both pointing in one direction, hips same direction, both legs are straight. I want you to bend the front knee as you come forward. So we're getting a nice stretch of the hamstring here. Push back so they're straight. Now bend the back knee and let the toes of the front foot come up. I'm just going to keep moving through that. So come up to straight, bend forward, straight, toes back, straight, kneel forward, straight, toes back, up and forward, up and back, up and forward, up and back. Going to change sides. So again, both feet flat on the floor. Both legs straight, bend forward, and up. Pull the heels back as you bend the back knee. Heel back, toe back, forward, center, and back. Forward, center, forward, forward, center, back, center, forward, center, back, center. Hopefully you didn't get confused like I did. But as long as you're stretching the muscles, it's all good. And back. Just press your feet into the floor. So I like to put it so that the top of the foot's against the floor. You'll get a nice stretch up the front of the foot. And the other side. So what you're going to need is something you can step on. Now, it doesn't have to be big, it just has to be stable. So you could use a wooden chair like the one I've got here. I've got a little ladder with lower steps. I have a cork block. If you've got a bit of wood, if you've got a very sturdy box, one that can support your weight and not move or break, use that. If you've got stairs in the house, use those. You basically want to be building up to the point where you can do this on a chair or quite a high step. But starting off low is good if you're not used to this. So something to stand on is pretty much what you're looking for. Height is less of an issue. You also just want a small object. I'm going to use this cork block as something you can use as a guide to jump over. Again, it doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be high. The idea is it's just giving you something to focus on. If you don't have anything, just imagine something on there so that you're raising up your feet and getting some explosive power. The other thing we're going to do is imagine a ladder run. So if you imagine you've got 2 lines or 2 train tracks in front of you, we're going to be moving in and out of them. So all we're going to be doing is 3 sets of 15, roughly. As I said, I don't want this to be a long one. I don't want to overload your muscles. This is just to start strengthening up the body and to get used to some of the explosive movements. So the first thing we're going to do is the side step up. So again, you can use whatever you want. This is working on our lower legs, so strengthening these up. It's working on our balance, and it's going to work on the supporting muscles around the ankle and around the knee. So if you're working on a low block, and that's fine, what you do is you're going to stand beside it. We're going to do the right leg first. You're going to put the right foot on there, and then without using the left one for power, you're going to straighten this leg and raise yourself up. So your weight shifts onto here, and then slowly lower it down. And that's 1. And then 2, and down. So that's on a low block. If you've got something a bit taller, it's going to take a bit more time. So step, make sure you're stable. Again, try to make sure you're not using the left leg. Push up and down. In all of this, you want to make sure that your knee is not turning in or out. It's coming straight in front, in line with the toe. And if you're using the big guns, I'll start this on my left foot instead. Stand beside it, or if you've got a stair, start with it here. You might want your back foot a little bit behind. And this one, again, this requires a lot more power. You might need to use your hands for stabilization to help you come up and down. So the higher the object that you're stepping on, the more work you're doing. We're going to do 3 sets of 15. So 15 break, 15 break, 15 break. I'll use the big one, it gives you a bit more time if you're on the low one. And then we're going to swap legs. So all of it is on one leg first. So prep your position. We're going to breathe out as we come up, in as we come down. So breathing out, 1, and down, and 2, and down, 3, and down, 4, and down. Remember to keep this strong and stable. 5. If you're having trouble, move to something lower. 6, 7, 8, 9. Make sure your power is focusing on this leg. 10, so you're not pushing up from the one on the floor. 11, 12, 13, 14, last one, and 15. Whew. If you're on a high one, that's going to be getting a bit sore. So, I'm going to switch sides, just because I realised how mean it is to make you do all 15, or sorry, all 45 on one side first. So, this side's not going to get a rest, this one's going to do the work. So, make sure you have a stable position. Going to get even less of me to see this time. So, when you're ready, breathing in and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more. And down, down, 2 more, 1 more, and down. Shake it out, grab a quick drink, at a bottle, here we go. So, as I said, these are working on not just the strength in here, but stabilizing around those joints. So, if you're finding you're starting to wobble, go down to a lower height, or you can focus on control rather than on generating so much power that you're not working on stabilizing the muscle. So, again, make sure you get a stable position. So, again, focus knee coming straight over the toe. We've got another 15, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, only 5 more to go, 11, 12, ooh, getting a bit wobbly, 13, 14, and 15. Good. Shake it out if you need to, rearrange your space, swap sides. Oops. Have a chair that doesn't suddenly disappear its legs. All right, other side, and 1, 2, 3. You can go faster if you want, you can go slower. This is kind of a medium speed, because if you're working on a higher chair, you're going to need a little bit more time and probably want to recover a bit more. 8, 9, so pulling up through the center, 10, 11 strong through that side leg, 12, 13, 14, last one on this side, 15. Shake it out. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest, if you want to pause or jump through, if you don't want to do the last set of 15, that's fine, just skip through to the next section. But we'll do one more set of 15 on each leg. And just because I'm glutton for punishment, I'm going for the high chair. All right. And breathing in and out. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more, 1. Whew. Should be very warm on that leg right now. All right, last set, last leg. Whew. Always easier when you're counting down for some reason. I think it's because we know there's an end point. All right, breathing in, breathing out. 1, or 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, whoops, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last 1. All right, shake it out. Move the chair or whatever it is out of your way. Grab a quick drink. So your legs should be feeling pretty warm by now, which is good, because they need to be for the next one, which is hurdle jump. So this is basically a jump over a small obstacle or hurdle. And again, this is training our muscles into that explosive power. Now, you can start with nothing to jump over. Just imagine something. You can start with something small and gradually can go, move to something bigger. The idea that at some point you'll actually be jumping onto something rather than over something. But most of us don't have that at home, so little obstacle is a good way to start. Because these ones are very hard on the body, we'll probably only do 3 sets of 10. So put your obstacle in front of you, whichever way it's going to be. What I want you to focus on is bending right down. So heels under hips, really prepping into this power position, bent position, bit of a squat. And all we're going to do is try not to use your hands, so hold them onto your shoulders. Jump and land. So make sure on the landing, you're also absorbing the movement with a bend. So, hands on shoulders, breathing in. You'll breathe out on the jump. So breathe in, bend, and out. 1, come back around. 2, and around. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Shake it out. You can, if you want, go up to a slightly bigger obstacle. You can aim to go a little bit longer. So modify as you like. If you're finding this a bit hard or it's starting to ache a little bit in the joints, you can just do a little jump on the spot. Don't aim to go too high. What we're aiming at on focusing is the bend preparation, a little movement up, and then making sure that as you come down, you're really absorbing all the movement. So those don't even have to really get off the ground. It's still priming those muscles, but it's a less impact on you. So whichever option you want, get ready for another 10. Breathe in, bend and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, shake it out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. All right. One last set of 10, whichever version you're doing. All right. So breathe in, prep, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, shake it out. Whew. Okay, so this next one is a bit like a ladder run. So whatever space you're in, I want you to start at the back of it. I want you to think about having 2 train tracks, about the width of your hips in front of you. All we're going to be doing is moving forward, coming in and out of the tracks. So out of the tracks, into the tracks, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. So if you had an actual rope ladder, you'd be going into the spaces, but you can make these as big or as small as you like. It's really just, again, working the explosive power in the lower leg region. So we're going to do we're just going to keep running up and down until I say stop. So we're not going to do a set on these ones. So whatever space you've got, get to one end, turn around and come back. So a little bit of cardio as well as a little bit of plyo. So remembering out and in and out and in. You can use your arms if you want. You might find it helps to have them going in and out, whatever you need. So breathe in and out and go. And you end up looking a bit like a crazy crab. And go backwards when you run out of space. And coming forwards when you're at the back of the room. Remember to breathe. Don't worry if you lose track of the ins and outs, you'll get back into a rhythm eventually. Try to make sure you're not leaning over. And stop. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Grab a drink. We'll do one more ladder run. Again, try and work on keeping the movements even, timing. Doesn't matter if it means you're going a bit slower, but try and keep an even pace the whole way through. It'll get harder and you'll want to slow down. Just keep trying to push through by focusing on your breathing. So set up at the back of your room, breathe in and out and in, prepare and go. I look like some kind of nightmare creature coming to get you. You can literally do these on the spot too. I just find the movement back and forward helps give some focus to an otherwise exhaustingly dull exercise. Focus on your breathing. And stop. Shake it out. Whew. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. Okay. Last exercise is a lunge hop. So we start in a lunge, which means you want your toes and your knees are all facing in one direction. Come down into a lunge and then, oops, sorry, just got to turn off an alarm that's coming onto my phone right now. You got to reprieve for a few seconds. Coming from the lunge, you're going to push up from this back foot, so off the ball of that back foot, to come to a hop. The hop does not have to be high. It's about just creating that explosive power and getting the muscles ready for it. The more used to you are, the stronger those muscles are, the higher you can afford to go. But they are going to wear you out. So you're getting a bit of explosive power off that foot, and then a bit of explosive power off the grounding foot. So we start in the lunge, we come up, hop, and then we're going to change the leg so you don't wear out too fast. So I'm going to start with my right foot forward, left foot back. You can get your arms involved if you want. So lunge, make sure both knees and toes are facing the same direction. Don't have the knees coming in or out. And breathe in and up, pop, swap. Lunge and pop, lunge and pop, lunge and pop, lunge and hop, 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 lunge, hop, down, up, down, up. Go at whatever pace you need to. One more each side. Now, I'm going to stop it there because we've done a lot of work with explosive muscles on the ankles and the knees, and you don't want to do too many of them because you're just as liable to do damage. So, if you really feel like doing a few more of those or any of those exercises, pause the video, do what you got to. Wouldn't suggest more than maybe one more round of any of them, and then come back and we're going to do the warm down now. All right, so feet apart, just breathing in through nose, out through the mouth, and in through the nose, and out. Breathe in. This time let your feet go wider and lean forward and let your body hang over your legs. Just grab your elbows with your hands and hang there for a second. Just enjoy the stretch in your hamstrings, back of the legs. Gently pull yourself over to one side. So I'm moving over to my right. And just stretch. So the side that you've moved to, bend the opposite knee. So you're in a bit of a lunge. Come up to center. Change sides. Both legs stay straight for a moment. Just enjoy the stretch there. And bend the opposite leg. Come back up to center. Going to come down to the floor. Just pop both legs in front of you. Heels away. Toes towards you. Knees together. Just stretch down as far as you can towards them, trying to keep your back straight, your head up. Doesn't matter if it's on your thighs, calves, toes, wherever. So focus again on the breathing in through the nose. And with each out breath through the mouth, see if you can relax more into the stretch. Bring one leg in front of you, bring one leg behind. Just hold there for a second while I lower the camera so you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. No point showing an exercise or a stretch if you can't see it. So one foot in front, one behind. So you've got a couple of options. You can just pull back here and get a stretch here, or you can push up, a stretch. More of a stretch through the hip, or if you prefer, you can come from this position and just lay down to your elbows or straight down to your back. It depends on how comfortable you are with any of these positions. So work your way from the seated to the slight hip hinge to the elbows to the back if you want to get more of a stretch. Keep thinking about pushing both knees towards the floor. Gently make your way back up. And we're going to swap legs. So again, you can just stay seated if that's enough for you. You can push up if that's enough for you. Elbows, or flat on the back. So staying on our back, We're just going to bring our knees into our chest, hug them in there, give them a bit of a cuddle, say you're sorry to them. I'll say I'm sorry to yours. You can roll a little bit around on your lower back if you need to loosen that area of the spine, so tiny little circles off your sacrum. And the other way. I'm going to turn to the back so you can see. So from here, still got your knees to your chest. Open them wide so that you're opening up your hip flexors. Well, I find it easier if I'm facing the other way. So sorry, it's not the most attractive look, but basically it's an open leg frog. Hold with your knees with your hands and just kind of circle the knees around. So it's going to be making your groin move around a bit, but it's going to be loosening up your hip flexors. Bring the feet onto the ground. We're just going to do a piriformis. So right leg, put the ankle over the other knee, over the left knee. Push that right knee towards the ground. So getting a nice stretch up the outside of the right leg. You can keep it there if you want, or you can raise the left leg and hold behind your left knee to get a bit more of a stretch. Still keep thinking about pushing the right knee away though. Relax, both feet back on the ground. Left ankle over right knee. Again, push the left knee away. Get that nice stretch. If you want to, bring up the right leg. Grab it behind the knee. Legs on the ground. I'll just find a position where you feel comfortable, so you can lay your legs out, you can lay them wide, have them in the frog, arms out, wherever it is. Just find somewhere comfortable, close your eyes. I just want you to focus on your breathing. So breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep following that breathing pattern. And just think about if there's anywhere that's sore or aching. And as you breathe out, think about driving your breath into that part of your body. It sounds weird, but it can actually help. Two more breaths. And then just slowly make your way up. Alright. If you're still feeling a bit sore, don't forget to do a little bit of extra stretching. Just focus on those muscles. Again, your lower legs are going to be feeling this more than anything, so give them a little bit of TLC. If they're a bit sore the next day, just do some more stretches, so just some gentle hamstring stretches or quad stretches. Give them a little love, they may very well need it. Alright, hope you had a good one, and I'll try and add to this with smaller exercise in the next